Before I get into this commentary, I have to give a huge shout out to Dewan B, because literally right before, maybe about a good 2 minutes before I was set to go live about the Rodney Hinton Jr. situation, I was watching his live stream that he was doing, talking about those Sambos and that black fatigue madness that they decided they were going to link themselves in with PC about. And he had brought up this story right here about Google. And they're settling this lawsuit with black employees over racial bias. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, I don't remember hearing about this, because if I heard about it, I definitely would have spoken about it. And if I did speak about it, it must be buried in the archives somewhere. So I'm going to read this article coming from Reuters. It was dated May 9th, 2025, and I'm recording it on May 14th, 2025. It says Google agreed to pay $50 million to settle a lawsuit accusing the search engine companies of systemic racial bias against black employees. A preliminary settlement covering more than 4,000 Google employees in California and New York was filed on Thursday evening in the Oakland, California federal court and requires a judge's approval. Plaintiffs in the proposed class action said Google has a, quote, racially biased corporate culture where management steers black employees to lower level jobs, pays them less, downgrades their performance ratings, and denies them opportunities to advance. According to the complaint, black employees comprised of only 4.4% of Google's workforce and 3% of its leadership in 2021. That is very, very, very low on all aspects. I wonder what the total percentage of black people that actually work for Google. I'm sure it surpasses 4.4 and 3%, which basically totals to almost 8% in total. The plaintiff, April Curley, hired to expand outreach to historically black colleges, said Google denied her promotions, stereotyped her as a, quote, angry black woman, and fired her after 6 years as she prepared a report on its alleged racial bias. Managers also allegedly denigrated black employees by declaring they were not, quote, googly enough or lacked, quote, googliness, which the plaintiffs call racial dog whistles. I've never heard of that terminology before, even by Google standards, but I'm guessing, I don't know if that means they weren't white enough or whatever that is, but I don't know what that means. I'm gonna need Google to come in, if they do, and respond to that, because what in the world does that even mean? Google, a unit of Mountain View, California-based Alphabet, denied wrongdoing in agreeing to settle and said it fully complied with all applicable laws. They are stated as saying, we strongly disagree with the allegations that we treated anyone improperly, and we remain committed to paying, hiring, and leveling all employees consistently, Google spokeswoman Courtney Mancini said in an email statement on Friday. Now, here's the thing. A lot of times when they send out big spokespeople to give statements like the one that I just read, typically they're speaking on the front of the entire company as a whole. They're not speaking on the individual that was aggrieved or done wrong. So when they make blanket statements like that, they're trying to make it seem like, oh, well, it was just one person. It wasn't a whole bunch of people. It was just this one. One is not good. I mean, look at what happened with Tesla, with that one black employee. And it was just one, but I think that some others came out, but it was one that was leading the charge. After them battles, he finally won. Now you really don't hear about it anymore. But then again, you don't hear about Elon Musk being attached really to Tesla like that, at least in the sense of him being like the CEO. The lawsuit began in March 2022 after a regulator, now known as the California Civil Rights Department, started investigating Google's treatment of black female employees. Lawyers for the plaintiffs may seek up to $12.5 million of the settlement fund in fees. On Monday, the lawyers dismissed related claims brought on behalf of job applicants, citing in evidence that they had gathered in Google's reasoned arguments. The case is Curley versus Google LLC, U.S. District Court, Northern District of California, number 22-01735. So there you have it right there. For some reason, I'm not in the least bit surprised. And it's crazy because if y'all saw the live that I did on Rodney Hinton Jr., I went on a little tangent at the beginning about what was going on or how I think they were tampering with my stuff. And you know, this platform is owned by Google. So it is what it is. But they're talking about, in a sense, the stance of Google, the corporation, in the actual building you go into and work for. So they said they settled it for $50 million. So basically, the reason why they're doing it is now Google doesn't really have to admit to any wrongdoing. They're just saying, look, let's just pay this $50 million, make this go away. This person can go on about her day or about her business, and we can go on about ours. So basically, it's one of those things of the people that sue them, they do come out financially on top. But if there is anything there with Google about their claims, they can still hold on to this. And I'm saying Google, they can hold it close to the vest and not even have to admit that it's something there. They could just sit up there and straight up lie and say there's not, which they honestly possibly could be doing. But now, because they didn't say that they were guilty of it, there's no actual proof that they are. But to make it go away, here's this 50 mil. Now you're out of our lives, hopefully. But I'm not surprised. A lot of these big Fortune 500 companies have a bias or several biases to them, and racial biases are not surprising in the laundry list of biases that one can have for a company. So this is just Google's turn. I'm sure that there are plenty more out there that have happened, or ones that have happened and we don't know about. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I will talk to you in the next one.